Okay, so today we're examining how our heart feels, and it's easy for some of us to know how our heart feels because we've been working with our heart chakra for some time. For others, that might even immediately cause a little bit of panic because if they perhaps aren't really in touch with their heart, or their heart only represents painful events, they may be skirting the issue completely and uh, spending all of their time working or not really investing in their heart. So today, along with our little simple artwork and our breath work, we're going to take a look at how many of us are unaware of how we feel. And therefore, we are unaware of how we seek to feel, how we actually want and believe we feel, because we are not even remotely willing to look at it. So today's exercise will help, and you're going to start by interviewing your heart. Thought maybe I had some tea in there. Unfortunately, no. So we have some questions. These are basic questions, but they're questions that are important when it comes to this process. So write them down in your journal and then think about them. And then at the same time, remember that you're going to be allowing your third eye to develop a sense of seeing your feelings. That would be the artwork portion, where you really sort of find out where you're at um, with your feelings all the way around. So let's start with choosing one for each question, one of these suggested answers. So, love. The heart feeling that there's nothing wrong and is happy. The feeling of nothing wrong and being happy. That would be love. Pain, where the heart has an injury or is in fear, and that's how it feels. Afraid, uh, holding fear about a situation, about something you need to do, about something that involves your heart, dealing with that closed offness, sympathy. And when the heart sympathizes, it, it activates, a certain feeling comes forth. First, identify those four different scenarios. Now, in step 0, um, you want to stop and ask yourself, how does my heart feel when it comes to trusting myself, me, myself, I? So you want to take the time to write down those four things that you had earlier. Which one of those denotes how you feel when it comes to trusting yourself? Love, pain, afraid, sympathy? Take time to really think about that. Okay? How does my heart feel about how much or how well I love myself? Okay. How does my heart feel about how I have been feeling lately? I mean, we all go through periods where we're up and then we're down. And some people go through that 3 or 4 times a day where they feel good about themselves and then they crash. So start to identify your frequency, up, down, or level, and you might even consider incorporating that into your artwork. How does my heart feel about what I know is going on in my life? These are probably difficult to answer, and yet you're going to have to find even just a very brief statement saying, oh, I'm fine with what's going on in my life right now. Don't just answer it blankly, because that's basically turning your back on your heart. So take the time to really think about what's going on. Now, step 4 would be, how does my heart feel about what I know in my life? And step 5 would be, how does my heart feel about where I am in my life? Oh, some of us want to be other places in our lives. We're not satisfied with where we are. So think about where you're at in your life and how that feels. Next one would be, how does my heart feel about my mind's mental attitude? Ooh, getting a little more complex there in our journey. And these are all things that we can relate well to if we use our art material to really investigate those feelings. How does my heart feel about the support I give myself? Some of us are equipped well to support ourselves, and some of us feel very overwhelmed when we come to support ourselves. Perhaps we are divided by having many other people in our lives that put demands on us, or yeah. And when that happens, how does that feel? Now, how does your heart feel about connecting to God? Goddess, God, Source, Spirit. You know, it's always a preference when it comes to spirituality. So, how does your heart feel about that? How does your heart feel about any recent decisions you've made? How does your heart feel about any recent decisions that you've made? How does my heart feel about recent actions I may have taken, or actions I didn't take and my heart was asking me to take? That's another question. How does your heart feel about who you have become as of late? Happy? Sad? Cheerful? Not so cheerful? You know, I mean, these seem like rather easy questions, and I would say they probably are fairly simple questions. But the goal is to have it not just go to the level of the superficial, it's to get it down into your child level. So go at these questions again if you need to, but this time come at it from the simplicity of your inner child. Because there might be a red mark in there, something that's painful, that you're holding ambivalence towards. This is a exercise of diving deep and these will come back as we're in this journey further along. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to affirm that today I feel that my heart and I are becoming expanded in expressing our reality. And if you find an affirmation that you're comfortable with your heart, I myself highly suggest you write it in your journal, and somewhere along this week, make it into a little piece of paper that you can stick on wherever you do your workout, and say it while you're doing your workout at least 3 times in a row. That seems to be a magic ticket for your inner subconscious or your divine to activate that affirmation. So once again, I feel my heart today and everything is okay. And so it is. So thank you for being with me on this journey, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.